Hello, everyone. My name is Zhuang, and I'm currently a postdoc at the National Institute of Health Data Science at Peking University in China. So today I would like to share our current work of using blockchain technology to re-engineer the clinical trial management system, also known as the CTMS. So this work is ready to be submitted for journal publication. So through today's talk, first I will explain what's the CDMS and what are the current challenges and how blockchain can solve these challenges. Then I will share our system design. It covers all the stages of clinical trials from study planning to the study closeout. Then I will talk about the conclusions and future work. So the CTMS is a set of software tools used for managing clinical trial processes. So as you can see the figure in the bottom of this slide, it covers from protocol development to study closeout. So basically, it's just the whole life cycle of the clinical trial. And this figure is from the Applied Clinical Trials Online, which is a website sharing all the articles from clinical trial experts. And CTMS is expected to have all of these features, like secure, cost-efficient, regulatory compliant, traceable, and auditable. So, however, current CTMS, most CTMS do not have all of these features, and we can come back later to see how blockchain can meet these requirements. So the next is the current CTMS market is fragmented. Most CMS right now on the market is SaaS, like the software as a service arrangement. And for the clinical trial sites, they may have like tens or even hundreds of CTMS on their hand if they are handling just the clinical trials from different CROs or different pharmas. And nearly all respondents from the Viva, which is an annual national clinical trial survey report, like 99% of the respondents, they reported at least one deficiency with their current CTMS. So our goal is develop a standards-based, interoperable, and customizable CTMS. So I believe you already have a pretty good understanding of the blockchain technology. So I will not spend more time on the explanation. But we all know blockchain has a lot of unique features that really fit the needs of the healthcare applications. For example, the auditability, immutability, or data provenance, they can all just ensure the data consistency and then also prevent the data breaching problem. And if we come back to see all of these features, we know like blockchain is secure, and blockchain is an open source platform. And by the way, we are using Core blockchain for this project. And regulatory are using the consensus protocol or using smart contract to enforce the regulatory and also traceability and auditability is also contained in the blockchain technology. And of course, like blockchain has more features, for example, stability or robustness are also pretty important for the healthcare applications or even for all the applications. But these are not the unique features. So blockchain is not the only solution. We are not persuading people like blockchain can solve everything. But this work demonstrates the feasibility of using blockchain in the CTMS. And also we provide a vision for the health IT community to consider to adopt this technology to handle more healthcare tasks. So this is the overall system design, and we have divided the clinical trial into 4 different stages: study planning, study startup, study conduct, and study closeout. And for each stage, it has 1 or 2 applications that handling just all different processes in this stage. For example, like study planning, and we have developed a smart contract to trace all the changes or all the errors happened during the collaboration on essential files on the first part. And the study startup is mainly about this patient recruitment and patient enrollment. And we have a separate module called study finance, and we are using the cryptocurrency idea to handle the payment and reimbursement process. And we are not including this part in our presentation today, since it's not really related to the healthcare issue. And in the fundamental part, we have adopted the quorum blockchain and also the Raft consensus protocol, and we have converted different blockchain nodes into blockchain adapters. So we have integrated like the data encryption, data decryption process, and IPFS, which is a distributed file system, into the blockchain nodes, and also the secure data exchange protocol into this blockchain node. So altogether, we have converted this node into a blockchain adapter. So let's go through one by one. So the first part is the study planning phase. And at this part, all of different scientists group, for example, the biostatisticians, PIs, and pharmaceutical companies, they will meet together to work on these essential files, and also known as the clinical trial protocol. So for these documents, they need all of these experts' effort to put it up together. And these essential files will just keep throughout the life cycle of the clinical trials. So the challenge at this stage is in audibility due to the difficulty of locating files. So since all of these groups may working on the same file together, it's easy just for someone working on different version, probably not the latest version. And later on, it's hard to trace which version they have made the revision. So, and other challenges may including like the quality, completeness, consistency for these inaccurate metrics. So for the blockchain, it can provide several features that can potentially provide solutions. For example, blockchain can ensure the consistency and traceability and auditability. Whoever made the changes of the file, it will keep a record into the blockchain. So it's easier for the group to trace who have made the changes and then who has which version is the latest version. And as I mentioned, we have integrated the IPFS, which is a decentralized file system into blockchain. So IPFS can provide like an efficient, decentralized, and available file system. And all the files can be indexed using a cryptographic hash. So the IPFS can provide a pretty good storage, but it lacks a good management. So we use blockchain as a management tool to track all the changes and then to distribute different keys, and also to set different permissions who can work on which kind of files or which part of the file. And also use blockchain to protect the user privacy and then provide a traceability to see who has made those changes. So on the right-hand side is ETMF, the electronic trial master file smart contract, and it has different functions. And here are some sample smart contract code in it. So the next part is the study startup, and actually we have published this part of work in 2019 EMEA annual symposium. And this part is after all the protocol has settled down, and they start to recruit patients, and then also waiting for the patients to enroll to these clinical trials. And there are several challenges. For example, just the patients, they do not know what kind of clinical trials that fit them, or they may be a good candidate. So we use smart contract to develop the automated matching tool. And this tool, the main purpose is screening. So we will filter out those patients group that could be potential candidates. And then the patients will receive a notification saying whether you would like to join these clinical trials. Then they will send their consent form to the PIs or to the CRAs, and then they will check their medical history to do the precise matching. Probably there will involve several like on-site physical exams, but at least this process can filter out some good candidates. And then after they got precisely matched, they will receive a notification saying whether you would like to join this clinical trial. Then they can enroll just using their digital signatures. So we also have just a matrix mechanism on the smart contract to keep updating what's the time consumption just to enroll a new subject, and what's the cost, and then how about the patient retention. Just all of these metrics are in the smart contract to evaluate the performance of this process. And we have conducted a case study using the real world clinical trial data. So if you are interested, you can just check that paper out. And the next stage is the study conduct. And this is definitely one of the most important process of the clinical trial. So after the patient got enrolled into the clinical trials, then this part is how to collect the data securely, and then how to shift the data from the clinical trial site to the sponsor or to the CROs. And currently they are using the electronic data capture tools, and this is a computerized system designed for the collection of the clinical trial data in the electronic format for clinical trials. And there's a case report form to collect the data to define what kind of data they are collecting for these specific clinical trials. So the challenge for this part is one of the biggest challenges data inconsistency. So the current process is they need a source data verification process, which means the CRO companies they need to send CRA on site to check whether the data received by the CRO is consistent with the data collected from the clinical trial site. And for this part is really labor-intensive process, and this ensures the data consistency. And for another challenge is like the timely input or security concerns, whether the collected data can be input timely, and how to ensure the data security. And for the blockchain features, first, the immutability can ensure the data consistency. So once the data recorded into blockchain, whether it's accurate or not, you cannot make any changes. You can input another record, but it's easier to audit in the future. And traceability is to improve the auditability to see who has made changes or who has input the data, and what kind of changes have been made after the first version. And since we have integrated the IPFS with our blockchain system, so we can achieve a faster data retrieval process using this system. And smart contract can provide the capability for the users to customize the case report form. There will be a graphical user interface for the users to customize the CRFs, and also for the PIs when they just click or input the electronic data, it can be customized to see whether it's user friendly or not. And one of the last feature is the the security, which is always important in all the healthcare applications. So the last stage is the study closeout. So actually the closeout has a long checklist, and we have just implemented two of the checklist, which is the statistical analysis and report. And the challenging part at this stage is how to ensure the statisticians that are using the appropriate statistical methods to analysis appropriate, not appropriate, like all the data. Instead of like select only good results, they need to all of the data and all of the results. So we will use blockchain to keep the tool or the record usage in this part. So when the FDA to audit the all process, they can reproduce the results using the tool, and you're also using the data records just from the blockchain log file. And also just since the blockchain can provide the immutability, then all the just tools and records they have been used cannot change anymore after the first try. And so at this part, blockchain can ensure the report completeness, and the most important is it can provide a reproducibility. So to sum up, for this work, we have used the blockchain to solve the challenges from each stage of the clinical trials. And also we have conducted the case studies and simulations just to assess the performance of each stage implementation. And we have empirically proved that the feasibility of proposed applications. And since this work is ready to be submitted, so I didn't just share all the details of this work, but I share the main like the system designs and also just the blockchain benefits in this presentation. So for the future work, we would like to add more AI tools into this blockchain architecture. For example, for the persistent monitoring part in the study conduct, when the patient keeps coming in, and they can monitor their physical condition, and then also they can use the AI model to predict whether there are side effects, and they can send alerts to the PIs or to the pharmaceutical companies to support their decision whether this subject can keep participating in this clinical trial. And also we would like to implement more Ctms applications, and we would like to deploy this blockchain application or blockchain system into real world clinical trial sites. And at Peking University, we have 21 affiliated hospitals. So we have talked to several hospitals, and they are really interested into blockchain applications, and they would like to try in the real world to see how they perform and whether they are really a good solution to the current challenges. So I would like to thank my PhD advisor, Dr. Xu Qi, who is the director of the Institute for Data Science and Informatics at University of Missouri. And he provided a lot of support and help and great suggestions to this work. And also my postdoc mentor, Dr. Zhang Luxia, who is the Associate Dean of the National Institute of Health Data Science at Peking University in China. And also our collaborator, Dr. Shizong Yin, who is the chair professor of the Department of Computer Science and Information Engineering at Asia University in Taiwan. So thanks a lot for listening. And if you are interested in our work, please feel free to email me anytime. Thanks a lot.